Mariamu alianguka, akamwambia ingalikuwapo hapa, ndugu yangu hangalikufa Mwokozi. Sasa ananuka, maana amekuwa maiti kwa siku 4. Liondoeni jiwe, akamuita kwa sauti kuu, Lazaro yu hai. Liondoeni jiwe, akamuita kwa sauti kuu, Lazaro yu hai. Akija mambo yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake. Akija mambo yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake. Usife moyo mwenzangu, Yesu atashuka kwa wakati wake, na tatizo lako atatatua na kufanya mambo yote sawa kwa wakati wake. Bwana atashuka, kwani hakuna linalo mshinda. Mpe yote yanayokusonga moyo, usife moyo mwenzangu, Yesu atashuka kwa wakati wake, na tatizo lako atatatua na kufanya mambo yote sawa kwa wakati wake. Bwana atashuka, kwani hakuna linalo mshinda. Mpe yote yanayokusonga moyo, yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake. Akija mambo yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake. Akija mambo yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake. Akija mambo yanabadilika papo hapo, anayalainisha yawe shwari. Kwa wakati wake atakuja tu, mambo yabadilike. Magumu yapitiayo ni kwa ajili ya utukufu wa Mungu. Amini, atakuja kwa wakati wake.
right, welcome back to Sunday Best. We are live on KTN Home, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for giving us an ear so that we can get to engage and just have a conversation that makes meaning to you, that makes meaning to us, so that we can get to sharpen one another as iron sharpens iron, so a brother and a sister sharpens the other. All right, I had told you earlier that today we are talking about realignments. As a person, there are things you desire. Sometimes you feel stuck. We are in a state as a globe where we are saying, because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, we are having issues, we are having a global recession, we are having many things, we are stuck here and there. But you know what? You have a responsibility, sometimes beyond everything else, to unstuck, if there's a word like that, yourself. And so that's what we are talking about, mind shifts and all that. So today we have an amazing guest just to help me engage on this one, and we'll have her for the next quite a number of weeks so that it can be progressive. We have Judy Mzungu. Na si Mzungu ule wa So Judy Mzungu, she's a Kingdom Life Coach, but she's also the founder of a program called Realignment. Karibu sana, Judy.
Asante, nashukuru.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Uko poa?
Sana.
God amekuweka salama.
Kabisa, nashukuru. I'm so happy to see you again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
And it's good that the resource that God has deposited in you can make meaning to others.
Yes.
Have you ever been stuck yourself?
Totally. Then I was stuck for the most part of my life. And I think for me that became then the reason why I have passion to go out and get others unstuck, because I know this journey only too well. Right. I know what it is to function, go to church and not be able to really become everything that God deposited you to be able to become. Yes. Right. And so for me, this journey came out of a season of wilderness, and out of that wilderness, then I discovered myself. And that's when I began to blossom. Then Joel 2:26 became true to me, where when the word of God says that he restores the years that the locust and the cankerworm have eaten. Right. And therefore I come back to help my brothers and sisters to be able to blossom again. Amazing.
One day we will share that testimony.
Yes.
In detail, yeah?
Yes.
So we get to know. In Job 14:7, and if you don't mind, because it's our push for today, says this: for there is hope for a tree. Yes. If it be cut down, that it will sprout again, and that its shoots will not cease. Yes. I love it the way Swahili puts it, that even hata kwa harufu ya maji itachipuka tena. Yes. By the smell of water, it will actually sprout again. And that's our intention and agenda, that even in the place of being stuck, there is hope. Totally. But there are principles that are very key to help us. And we'll just want to check out the story of Gideon, because it's a very good case study, even as we move on. Yes. But let's begin here. Yes. Many of us are stuck. And you can paint for us a picture of some of the things we probably are stuck in, considering where we are as a nation, as a people, and as Kenyans. I think when you listen to, especially if you listen to our President William Ruto, he keeps saying the economy. And it means that if you think about it, many of us really are living from hand to mouth. Many people, by the way, lost their jobs. So we are at that place where economically guys are suffering. Right. We're at the place where relationships, let's say the truth, people are struggling in relationships. Some people have been dumped. They don't just, you understand? Yeah. So there's the emotional part. And then there's career. Yes, you wake up to go to work, but is it fulfilling? Right. You wake up and go to work, but it seems like there's just something in your life that is just not adding up. So that's how it looks like getting stuck. The children of Israel, when you go back to Judges chapter 6, the children of Israel were at the place where they planted, but it just seemed like nothing was happening. That's what it is for many of us. We wake up, go to work, but at the end of the month, really, like the president said, we saved two shillings. We're all saving 2 shillings. So that's the scenario. That's what getting stuck looks like. It looks like financially, economically, emotionally, socially, relationally, where we feel like, you know what, my life is just not moving forward. And relationships, one of those major ones.
That's true.
I mean, people are married, you have issues with your in-laws.
Yes.
Sometimes you have issues with your spouse. Children and parents, you're wondering, what are these children doing to me? Why do they want to kill me this early? So those are places we are in.
Yes.
But the beauty is that there's an opportunity to come out of that situation.
That's true.
Let's go to Judges. Let's paint a picture.
Let's paint a picture.
Of the children of Israel being stuck and how things started, you know, moving forward.
Yeah, the children of Israel were at that place where everything that they were planting seemed like it was getting stolen from them.
Right.
You understand? Where probably you work, the promotion is not coming. You work, you are fired. You are in a relationship, you get dumped.
Yeah.
So their lives were really at that place. But one of the things, the main thing that the children of Israel did in verse 7 is that they cried out to the Lord.
Good starting point.
Good starting point.
All right.
You have to start out from your spirituality.
Aha.
Many times, Ndiema, when we come to that place where we get stuck, I don't know about you, let me be real. I've been stuck in my life and I'm like, you know what, God, because you make so much sense to me and my relationship to me is important. Let's not try this, because if you mess me up one more time, I ain't going to church. So let me just figure this thing out on my own. So it happens.
True. It happens, many times.
And even when Gideon, by the way, when the angel came and approached Gideon, Gideon was like, what do you mean? Where has God been?
Yeah.
All this time, it just doesn't make sense. Where is the God of our fathers? We heard of miracles, signs and wonders, but it doesn't look like we are able to live in those miracles, signs and wonders in this time. So they cried out to the Lord, and then when he showed up and he went to Gideon, he called a mighty man of valor.
All right. This is progressive.
Yes.
And I like what you've said.
Yes.
Sometimes you have cried out to God.
Yes.
But it looks like God is not hearing.
That's true.
He's silent. What is that? What happens around that?
What happens around that? And that's why the children of Israel cried. And then when God comes, he first addresses his identity.
I like that.
So he tells him, you're a mighty man of valor, because at that point, unless you have a relationship with yourself, dear, it's very difficult to have a relationship with God. Otherwise, you can do religion. You can go to church, but you don't quite have a relationship.
Right.
So he addresses him, he tells him, mighty man of the Lord is with you.
Yeah.
So he says, this is your identity. And because now I have affirmed who you are, and I have come to tell you that I'm taking you to a place where I have a relationship with you.
Wow.
Going back to your spirit and your soul, now beginning to communicate.
Amazing.
Makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, take it on from there.
So number one, of course, we are, and I like what you're saying about there has to be an agreement in your spirit.
Yes.
That I am stuck.
Yes.
And there has to be a cry.
Yes.
That's a good beginning point.
Yes.
And now God comes, points out at your identity.
Yes.
That's the point you also need to listen. Because God can point out and you're thinking, tunarudi, huko tulikuwa. Hapana. So that has to be aligned properly. So here we are. I want to call you pastor. I don't know why. So Judy, here we are.
Yes.
You have gotten to that point. You're saying, you know what? Let me cry to God, like the children of Israel did. So spiritually, you are actually aligning.
Yes.
At that particular point.
Yes.
So how do you progress from there?
Spiritually, let me say, at that point, you might even be doing religion, because that's all we know how to do.
Right.
In Africa, we know religion. Let's agree.
We're very good.
Yes. So you cry out to the Lord because you do know religion.
Yeah.
So he comes back and tells you, this is your identity. This is your true identity in Ndiema. So once you begin to catch the identity, then now based on the fact that you now get an understanding of who you are, then you begin to develop relationship. But the relationship is not automatic. You will have to go through a moment of introspection.
Right.
What did Gideon say? Gideon now began to introspect and began to ask God. But this is what happened to our fathers. But this is where did it it look like? You understand? You have to go through that moment where you'll ask yourself, what brought me to this place? God, this doesn't make sense to me. I invested in this relationship, but this guy is gone. I invested in this woman, but she has left me. I invested in this job, but why did I miss the promotion? You have to go through that journey of healing emotionally, of asking yourself, so that you can overcome the doubt, overcome the anxiety, overcome the fear. And because of that, then your faith now is restored.
Wow. All right. Yes. Those are two very important ones.
Yes.
Realizing and then introspection.
Yes.
This process of introspection takes a lot of, you have to be at a place where you're saying, I want to make this work, right?
Yes.
Or else you can't introspect when you have already, you're down and you're already giving up and you've given up. There has to be something that will arise in you. Where is the connection between the spiritual and, the soul, the mind? Where do they connect at this particular point?
Okay. They connect at the place of prayer. And I'm not talking about, and by the way, I'm a Pentecostal, I believe in speaking in tongues, but there comes a place where you talk to God intimately, where you allow yourself to speak to God and for him to speak back to you. Takes us back to the place of solitude, meditation, worship, where we have to come into the depths and have a deep relationship with God, where your prayer life then stops becoming about food and going to sleep.
It goes deeper.
It goes deeper.
Yeah.
But the truth is, for many of us, for us to be able to hit that place, God will take us to the moments of the wilderness moment, where now everything else comes to a stop, a standstill, that place of being stuck.
Yeah. And that's usually the toughest.
It's toughest, but if we can take advantage of it, and it's good that we're talking about it, because if you can take advantage of the wilderness season, it's actually the place where you go deeper, and in coming out deeper, you launch higher.
Repeat that again.
The place of the wilderness is a place where you go deeper, and out of the place of the depths with God, then you can launch higher. When they talk about the next level, the new season, people think that you will walk luxuriously into the next level, into the new season. It doesn't work like that. And it's good that we're talking about it. So a lot of alignment has to happen to take you into the new version of you, so that you can go where God wants you to go.
Wow. I have seen people who are diverse.
Yes.
I think the more you go in, the thrust is deeper even as you push out.
Yes, yes.
So I like that when you say the deeper sometimes you, and just look at our situations.
Yes.
During COVID, during the COVID period when things were really thick, I am told that is a point where quite a number of people built houses.
The realignment program actually was launched during the COVID season.
Right.
Yes.
Why?
Because I was forced to go into the depths.
Right.
And in going out into the depths, then I was able to hear more clearly. Remember, most times at that time, people were spending time alone. There was not too much noise around us.
That's true.
Yes.
I like that. So there's noise that has been cancelled.
Yes.
You get to a point where sometimes it's too desperate.
Yes.
And sometimes you've been at a place where it's very comfortable. Things are moving, you have money.
Yes.
So when you get right there at the deep, you have to think about some things.
Yes. And you are forced to think about something. You're forced to think about. In fact, in most cases, your phone will stop ringing.
Right.
And you will wonder, is there a problem with the network around me? It's on the network, and there's nothing wrong with people. It is a season, it is a God-ordained season to bring you into the place of aloneness.
Right.
Yes. Remember, actually, the angel went to Gideon in the cave. He was alone.
Imagine. Wow. Things happen when you're alone and
Things
desperate.
happen when you're alone. Realignment happens most times when you're alone.
All right. So here you are. You've spoken to God.
Yes.
You've cried out to God.
Yes.
You said, I'm in a mess. Then God comes and tells you, you know what? A man of valor.
Yes.
Let's think about this. Then you now start to have a moment of introspection. You check out what is happening, where am I? How do I get to connect to God better? We need to conclude for today.
Yes.
But even as we do that, we need to say that through this process, there is hope. I want you to say that.
Yes, you remember Gideon,
yes.
after he was told about his identity and then he had a conversation with God, what then happened after that, you begin to see that he has a journey with God that takes him into the place of sacrifice, of fleecing. What is giving the fleece? What is happening? He begins to develop a deeper relationship with God, and then as he develops a deeper relationship with God, he hears him more correctly. Why? Because he's aligned. Spirit and soul are coming together, so that whatever the spirit is saying and whatever his mind is thinking is the same thing, and therefore he is able to move in the direction that God is saying. And because he's able to move, what then happens is that God begins to download strategy.
Right. Wow.
In Judges chapter 7, Gideon then begins to conquer. And that's where now we are saying that it is possible for you to rise up again as a child of God and come to the place where you begin to hear the voice of God again and take back your place every year that the locust and the cankerworm has taken by the reason of divine strategy. Lovely.
So I love that. There is hope.
Amen.
You have an opportunity to arise again.
Yes.
And those things that were eaten by the cankerworms and the
they are being restored.
They are being restored.
Amen.
So let's pause.
Yes.
Let's pause right here. We'll want to check about the intellect. How does that connect? The state of your emotion. How do you re-engineer that? Willpower.
Yes.
Your body, then you get to a point where now your body can start moving.
Yes.
Because when all those things are realigned, then now you can start making steps.
That's true.
So those are the next steps we'll be talking about. Of course, I'm with Judy Mzungu. She's a Kingdom life coach, but as well as the founder of the Realignment program. Thank you so much, Judy, for making time
Asante
to be here with us.
Thank you so much.
We'll meet again next week.
Yes.
To get deeper, and that will be great. Of course, we have the vocals of praise together with us, doing amazing music. That continues right here on Sunday Best. Don't go too far.
Je, wewe umefirahimu naye alisema la, ndipo wakamuambia tamka neno hili Shibolethi, naye akasema Sibolethi. Je, wewe umefirahimu naye alisema la, ndipo wakamuambia tamka neno hili Shibolethi, naye akasema Sibolethi. Walishika na kumuua hapo penye vivuko vya Yordani, maana hakuweza tamka neno lile la Kigeleadi. Walishika na kumuua hapo penye vivuko vya Yordani, maana hakuweza tamka neno lile la Kigeleadi. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi. Huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi. Huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu. Sisi ni taifa takatifu, hatutangamani nawe. Ewe ibilisi, nenda mbali nasi kamwe. Sisi ni wake Yawe, muumbaji wa dunia. Sisi ni taifa takatifu, hatutangamani nawe. Ewe ibilisi, nenda Ulifukuzwa Edeni sababu ya maasi yako, hauna nafasi kwetu, lako ni moto wa milele. Ulifukuzwa Edeni sababu ya maasi yako, hauna nafasi kwetu, lako ni moto wa milele. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu. Je, watambua lugha ya kimbingu? Ajapo adui uweze mkinga, mwambie atamke neno Shibolethi, akisema Sibolethi huyo si wa imani yetu, si wa kundi letu.